So, hello everybody. It is a Thursday evening here in Texas or Houston, Texas, same damn thing. It is almost 9:30 in the evening. And of course, you guys normally do not see Donovan and I on here on Thursday evening. But there has been some unconfirmed, I do want to say unconfirmed news and reports that Kevin Samuels, the image consultant, some people say relationship guru, has passed on. Again, as I say, there's some unconfirmed reports, but we just want to have a little brief conversation about what we know and some of the conversation that's kind of surrounding his alleged passing, if you will. So before we get into that, Donovan would say, you all like to say hello and welcome to YouTube and Facebook, the other side of the conversation. We're going to try to get to as many comments as you guys as we can tonight. I'm not going to be here on here that long because it's past my bedtime. But we did want to have just kind of acknowledge it for what we know right now. So Donovan, what say you?
And again, welcome to the Dimitri K Show. Very, very sad news. Unconfirmed. Kevin Samuels, the prophet, the man that was telling it like it is, even though a lot of women did not like what he had to say. Sometimes there's truth into power. And like I said, it's an unfortunate situation because this man was only 56 years old, which is in
53, I think.
53, I'm sorry. Some of the sites said 56.
Yeah, they're saying 56.
Yeah, but 53. But that's still in my age wheel and stuff like that. What I want to say is, you never know when God or the spirit, whatever you believe, is going to call you. We're not saying burn the candles at both ends, like live every day that is your last. But while you're here, you should do your best to be the best that you can be in society and do all of that. The one thing I do have to say is, looking at some of the other pages and some of the comments from the ladies, I'm very shocked. The ladies, the disrespect, the one biggest redemption that we have, and me and Dimitri and I were talking about this before we went on air, is death. Everybody's redeemed in death because that's the ultimate price you're going to pay because you're never coming back. And this man was a father. He was a husband at one time. He was a son. He was a brother. And now he's no longer here. Like him or hate him, we got to give reverence and respect to those that are now passed on and our ancestors.
Sorry about that. As somebody was calling me. Yeah. So, and I just kind of want to put this up from Revolt News TV. And as y'all can see here, it's a little bit cut off at the bottom, but it says controversial YouTuber Kevin Samuels passes away. Revolt Black News has confirmed from reliable sources that YouTube sensation and self-proclaimed relationship guru Kevin Samuels, and I apologize. Let me see if I can get to the bottom of that. Has passed away today, May 5th. So again, they're saying it's reliable sources. And I also want to put up something else that I saw. Give me 1 second here. So this is, from what I understand, one of his best friends. I think it's one Anton, don't give me the line, Anton Daniels, one Anton Daniels. As you guys can see here, it says, Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, my friend. You accomplished a lot in your limited time on this earth. I loved you while you were here. So again, this is supposed to be his best friend. And I did go on to this particular page just to see if it was there myself. And it was there. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I hope it's not true, because in spite of some of his views, and you guys know I was very, very vocal about some of his views. I didn't agree with a lot of things that he said, but I've also been clear that I think that he did say some things that were true. I have said that, but even if I didn't like anything that he said, I think it's very vile and disgusting that people. Donovan, let me put your mic on.
Yeah, I'm trying right now.
I think it's very vile and disgusting that people are celebrating his alleged death. I just was out because I was working here at my desk, and I just happened to scroll across, and I was like, wait a minute. because usually people put out a lot of rumors all the time, and they always killing celebrities and different people on the internet. And so I didn't really think too much of it. And then I started seeing a lot of action around. Then it was trending #1. And so I had reached out to a couple of people, and we was all like, well, we're going to wait and see if there's a little bit more confirmation to it. And, it sounds like it is. Now, again, it doesn't sound like the family has said anything officially. I've seen from a whole bunch of reputable people, especially people who live in Atlanta, because that's where he lived, so I saw somebody say that they called the hospital, I think it's Grady Hospital, if I'm not mistaken, and they did have somebody listed by the name of Kevin Samuels, and they said that that particular person, once he got to the hospital, he was already expired. So again, no official confirmation, but from what it sounds like, and again, this is allegedly his best friend, one of them that I have from his Instagram stories. And so this was on his particular feed, if you will. So I don't know how he died. Some people are saying that it was a cardiac arrest, but, I don't really want to put too much on that because we don't know, and we'll never know until a coroner comes out with the official, if it's true. Because like I said, I'm hoping the man is not dead. I'm hoping it's a very, sick rumor that somebody who has nothing better to do has put out there. But we have seen, especially on Twitter, a lot of women and some men, but a lot of women who were just, it almost kind of makes you wonder who raised you. Because I don't care how you feel about somebody, you never want to celebrate in someone's death, because you don't know when it's going to be you or when it's going to be somebody and love. And I also say, before I give it back to Donovan, I think we've entered into a space in the world via the internet that if I don't agree with you, then I'm going to wish bad things on you. I want you to be canceled. And instead of just saying, you know what, I don't like what he or she is saying, I'm not going to participate in their lives or their comments or whatever. I'm just going to go about my business. But we've entered the space to where we are really wishing death on people we just don't agree with. So Donovan, what say you? And I'm going to try to get to some of y'all comments too.
Yeah, again, we're not going to be on here too long. I've been reading the comments, and a lot of people are saying basically positive things in regards to people that have passed on into the ancestors, and some of the things that we read as well. So we'll get to some of those comments. But Demetra, let me just ask you this between you and I. Kevin Samuels sparked, and somebody said this in the comments, sparked a debate, something that was long overdue between Black men and Black women. Now, like it or not, you have to agree with some of the things he has said. There is an issue where, depending on how you look at it, ladies, are you guys, not all of you, so let's not get into that, but one of the questions he asked was, are you guys being realistic about the type of men you want to get into? Some of you guys got things of 6 feet, and that's fine. But again, he used numbers to prove some of the things that are unrealistic within our community. And, what would you say, Demetra, in regards to, do you think him sparking this debate was more to wake us up, or was it more to be divisive, in your opinion? What do you think? 'Cause I know, you're not a big fan of his or anything, but like you said, you did agree with some things he said.
Well, I just want to say this, because I don't know how much of a conversation I want to have about his content right now. Because I don't know if it's really the time. We can if y'all want, but I don't know if it's really the time to have a conversation about whether we agree with him or not. But I will say this at the end of the day, because you guys know, Donovan and I, we do this a lot. I believe that people should be free within reason,
Sure,
to say what they want. I don't think people should be policed for their opinions. Now, I've seen a lot of, campaigns, if you will. I don't know how much steam they got, that people wanted to cancel him. But I'm like, just don't watch it. Don't listen to it. But to try to cancel somebody because you don't agree with them, I just think it's gotten past silly season. And so Did I agree with him? No, I didn't agree with him. I agree with some of the things he said. Don't get me wrong. I did not love his delivery, but at the end of the day, I didn't have to watch. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't know. I'm a little lost for words because I don't really like to hear that people have passed on, whether I like them or not.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this is really devastating. Just because I don't know. Just I can't even put it into words because when you see somebody so polarizing, and you hear something like that, and then you hear people celebrating that he's dead, it's scary to me because I'm like, where did this come from? Were you raised like that? Was it like, are you, even if you're joking, like why? You know what I mean? So I'm just a little bit speechless at this moment.
Right, exactly. And for me though, I'm just saying, I think that he brought up a subject that was long overdue, and it really did address, and it really opened up a platform for other bloggers and people to talk about relationships, because before people weren't doing stuff like that. It also brought up the fact that the problem within Black men, not him particularly, but the other bloggers that are out there doing shows. And he used that platform, I think, divisive if you want to say it either or, as Demetria will tell you guys, and I'm not ashamed to say this. I was a big Tommy Sotomayor follower. I liked a lot of stuff that he said. Did I agree with most of it? No, I didn't agree, because I thought it was entertainment, basically. So, just like the new Black media, we are now talking as a group of people rather than regions. So I got to give him big ups, because he did start a platform that opened up other areas for people to get, what would you say, counseling, like a free way of to be counseled. And it really made you think, like, you know what, maybe I need to go to counseling, because in the Black community, getting to go see a head doctor or something like that is almost taboo within our community. And now, because of him and other people out there, influencers, it is now good to go and get help and talk to a doctor in regards to our mental health. So I have to give him big ups for that, like him or hate him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, I'm gonna just keep saying, I really do hope that it is not true. I hope that it is not true, because, like I said, you never want to. I mean, whether we like it or not, he was part of the community. He was part of Black media. He was part of the conversation. And, to your point, and I'm sure somebody else has pointed that out. I'm going to try to continue to get to y'all comments, that he did spark a conversation, whether we liked it or not. He brought some things to the conversation, and I think that we should get used to having conversations, even if we don't like what is being said, right? Because Donovan and I talked about this before we came on here. Unfortunately, a lot of people do participate in group think, and that you think if we don't all think this way, then you're wrong if you don't. But it's like, if people are entitled to their opinions, right? Now, there's a whole host of people who will say that Kevin Samuels actually helped them, men and women. I've seen and heard both men and women say that. But it's not up to us to say that they weren't helped or they didn't find value in, some of the things that he said. But I just think that we need to, as a society, come back and start having conversations where we could say, well, you know what? I don't like what you said. In fact, I absolutely hate it. But I respect it's your right to say it. And if I don't like it, I'm not going to waste time to try to get you canceled and this, that, and the other. I'm going to keep it pushing. And if I really feel a certain type of way about it, then I'll get my own platform to combat what you are saying. I'll have another viewpoint. But to wish death on somebody is just, I'll never understand that at all.
Well, let's get to some of these comments. And, these guys are saying some really, really good stuff. And Some people, you know, they're entitled to their opinion. They're saying how they feel about it, but all in all, it's pretty positive.
So again, I want to say hello to everybody on here, and I'm going to try to get to at least everybody's comment. And Hannah, how you doing? Hannah actually was on your page on Facebook where I saw you kind of mentioned, you know, that you heard he was no longer here. So then I did go to Twitter and look, and I did see it. And so you say, so he sparked a debate. Let me get that. A debate is good. Some of the issues needed to be addressed. Men and women both can benefit from talking. Him personally, caustic, an entertainer, an opportunist, divisive, absolutely. Positive or negative effect on the diaspora, only time will tell. I love it. And that's actually sums it up very nicely. And hello, Midnight Marauder, how you doing? And JJ Speedy Thunder, you say, I hope it's a hoax. I do too. Selena, how you doing? Says, hey, Demetri Donovan. Though I don't care for Kevin Samuels, I hope and pray this is not true, as do I. Gavetta, how you doing? And Holistic Lifestyle, you said he kept the Red Bull drink in his hand. That stuff will damage your heart in the long run. Yeah, all energy drinks. And I don't know if that's what happened to him, but I try to stay away from energy drinks. It has no good effect on your body at all. Speedy Thunder, how you doing? He says, not a fan of his content, but not gonna hate the man. Never was that person. Yeah, I mean, like, why be like that, right? Hey Al, how you doing? It says, could it possibly be because of his comment about women 35 and younger, he's taking a break? And if he is dead, could it be because of all the Red Bulls he was drinking due to his health? I mean, all things are possible. I'm not a coroner, so I don't know it. We will never know until the official report comes out. So I don't know. Yes, they're saying, you know, cardiac arrest. And I'm just kind of reading through some of these comments. Ray K, how you doing? I like the other name. K says, the Godfather still remains the truth, dead or alive. It's a reach at this point. Yeah, you know, what is it that they say? You can kill the man, but you cannot kill his ideas and his visions and, you know, all the other things that he had. And so absolutely. Again, I'm hoping it is not true. And the Moody Blues, how you doing? It says, I'm not celebrating, but I don't care either. That's bad. No, I mean, it's your right to feel how you want to feel. I just think there's this thing called decency that has gone missing in our society. Yeah, it's your right to feel the way you want to feel, but I just always put myself in the shoes of somebody. Would I want somebody celebrating my death or somebody I love death? I wouldn't want that. So I try not to return things that I wouldn't want returned to me. And Tara, how you doing? And Latrice, she says some things were true. Yeah, and I agree with that. And Sam, how you doing? He says, personally, I find it divisive. So you're saying his content is divisive, and a lot of people would agree with you. And Selena says, yeah, with all due respect, his content is irrelevant right now. Well, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying as far as what I was saying, you know, whether I liked it or not. Yeah, I mean, I think there's bigger fish to fry at this moment, and that he may, you know, not be here anymore. Curly Girl says, I've heard of him, but I never watched his broadcast. And Black Pride, how you doing? He says, I didn't agree, but I can't wish this. Absolutely. And RLI, how you doing? He says, if you don't like someone, just don't watch. Simple. Yep. Black Pride says, death is no death. And let me get to some of these other comments. And Mr. D's News, how you doing? He says, I agree with some of the things Kevin used to say. He kept it real. And Gilberto says, absolutely, Demetri K. I never watch him. I agree. If you don't like something someone says, just move on. Yeah, you ain't got to try to, you know, be all angry and stuff about it. Just keep it pushing. Hey, Dr. Candace. Allegedly, Kevin Samuels has passed on. And let's see here. Tanya, how you doing? Says, did he really pass away? And I know some of these comments I'm behind, so I'm going to try to get toward the bottom because I know we've kind of answered some of the stuff already. And KJ, how you doing? Says, let's say the vested zealot, wow, passed away. Nobody in the chat would have one nice word to say about her. Oh, so that's somebody. Okay, the vested zealot, is that her name? Says, nobody in the chat would have one nice word to say about her. I simply don't care about Kevin Samuels Rip, though. Yeah, I've never heard of divested zealot. I wouldn't wish death on anybody. I don't care how much I did not like them. And trust me, there's people that I simply just like, oh. But I don't I don't think that I would go that far and wish death. Because, you know, you got to, what you wish on other people, you also wish on yourself. And
karma is real. If people don't want to believe it or not, it is real.
Yeah, and Will, he says, damn near all men thought the way he spoke, bottom line, including the damn simps. Yeah, I mean, I've talked to quite a few men who agree with him.
Yeah,
And Matt,
the funny thing, real quick, is my
sure.
mom was a big Kevin Samuels viewer, and she would call me and like we would she some whatever topic it was, she goes, did you see this? Because I didn't really watch him because I've been busy doing other things. She goes, she would tell me a topic, and I'm like, oh really? Then I would go look it up. So I got a lot of my information from my mom who was watching him. So
Yeah. And Matt, how you doing? He says black community never coming back. Too many haters. And that's really sad. Purple Girl, how you doing? And Glorious Mimi, how you doing? He says I never watched his shows because of the things I've read about his show. I try to filter what I watch to remain as positive as I can. Rip Kevin Samuels and peace and condolences to his family. Yes, indeed. And it's got to be really hard for his family. Can you imagine, them getting on the internet and seeing all the vitriol regarding his alleged passing? It's crazy.
Here's the thing people got to really think about. A lot of people are talking about it, and we're not talking about mainstream media. We're talking about local bloggers, YouTube type folks, Facebook type folks. We are talking about a person, and so for a person that most of us don't know personally. So what does that say about the person? He left an impact, if you like it or not, because God forbid something happens to me down the road, nobody's going to be talking about me like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big impact. I mean, trending number one on Twitter, and whether people, think Twitter is what they say the consciousness of society. Trending number one, and he's trended before, so it's not the first time, but trending number one on Twitter, and having so many people have an opinion about it. That's I would say that's a pretty big mark on the world. And let's see here. Adriana, how you doing? Says 4 to 5 Red Bulls a day. That's a cardiac arrest guarantee. Yeah, they say. And P. Seuss, I hope I said that right. How you doing? He says he is dead. Who cares how he dropped dead? He was disrespectful to black women. Also, he was not Jesus Christ. Yeah, he was not Jesus Christ. And then the Jesus Christ they telling y'all about wasn't Jesus Christ either. So
yeah, exactly. And and let me ask you this. Maybe in your opinion, he was disrespectful to black women, but to a lot of people, he wasn't. So I mean, again, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Who are we to say, what he was and what he wasn't? Everybody has a different value system.
Megan, how you doing? He says, did he really die? I just because I just Googled it and it said it was a rumor. Yeah, well, it's all alleged until, I would imagine the authorities or his family or somebody confirm it. But here I have on the screen a statement of his best friend who posted this on his story on Instagram. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know why his best friend would say something that's not true unless they're both, playing a hoax, which would be, cruel, but it would be a relief if he's not really passed on.
Yeah, I'm going to jump real quick to Robert Harlan's statement. He says, anyone heard from Tommy Sotomayor? Should we put out a wellness check? Now, Demetria, have you heard anything about Tommy Sotomayor? The last I heard, he was doing OnlyFans in addition to...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know they didn't get along very well, but it would be hard to think that even Tommy Sotomayor, who I think is a horrible human being, would be celebrating that. So I'm going to skip to some of these bottom of these comments because I know I got a lot of them. I want to get everybody. All Painless, how you doing? He says, I saw this in, I'll say this in his death. All the women celebrating prove everything he said. Right. Okay. It's still growing. How you doing? He says, rip to a goat. Anton, how you doing? He says, wow, rip Kevin Samuels. Condolences to his family. He was a great man. You will be missed truly. And then Ali says, Kevin once gave a master class on how a man is supposed to act. What a devastating blow for his daughter and mother right before Mother's Day. Oh, my God. Yes, indeed, because he did have a child and a mom that, he would talk about that he would go visit and stuff. So it's crazy. And yes, let's see here. And Sammy, how you doing? He says, Kevin Samuels helped me, a young black woman, tweak my attitude. He said, young black women, I'm sorry. Tweak my attitude and outlook on life and dating. I don't care what anybody says. And I've been saying this beforehand. And then Robert asking, where did he pass? It sounds like Atlanta. Again, don't quote me. It's just things that I've kind of heard. And School of Thought, how you doing? He says, Lap Peef live, not even a memorial, talking about something else. popped up by Kevin Samuels, dead confirmed by Anton on a separate video. So Anton is his best friend, from what I understand.
Yeah, let me put a statement out here for some Sirica Rogers. I'm sorry if I messed your name up. Kevin stirred discord amongst most men and women. Only something higher could stop such division. Really?
Yeah, and Hannah, if I was reading your comment, it says we're talking about him all over the internet. Are talking about people are all over the internet talking about him. Maybe someone with a better disposition will take up the debate you guys do it on occasion. Maybe overall it can be turned into a positive. Yeah, it can be, because like I said, regardless of what you like about him or not, he did spark the conversation that Black men and women, we need to figure out a way to find some common ground, because without us getting together, we don't survive. And it's just a fact. No matter how we feel about each other, Black men and women need each other to pull this thing off. And this thing is Black liberation. And really, at this point, Black survival.
Yeah, because amen, because the discord between Black and women, and I'm going back to some Sirica's Rogers statement, which I don't agree with, but she can make that statement. The discord was already there. The narrative of Black men ain't shit, and Black women are hoes. It's in the music, it's in the movies, it's in the culture. That was already there, and it's been there for over 40 years. So to finally sit down with each other and talk about it and try to do something about it. When I watched Kevin Samuels, I thought he was more about family and unity and keeping the Black family intact. That's what I got out of a lot of his messages that I would see, because he's always talking about, are you married? All the stuff that, you would think that would help the Black community. We need more fathers in the home. We need more mothers to help raise the kids and just be a family, So I believe the discord has been there for over 40 years on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, it's, I'm not usually lost for words.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was sitting here doing some work, and when I heard it happen, I kind of just been engrossed into it all day, kind of just trying to see if somebody was saying, nah, it's not true. Even before we came on here, because I know he does Instagram on Thursday, I went on to say, okay, well, maybe, it's not true. Maybe he's going to go live. And, at this point, before we came on, nothing. So, it's awful. It's awful. I mean, as you say, Robert, he seems like he was in good shape. Talked about, working out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we don't know why, or what happened to him. Rumors, it's heart attack or whatever the case is. But, it's horrible.
Well, I think it's really weird that somebody who, is a talker, you got a degree in public relations and all this stuff. So you're trained as a person that can talk, and you didn't really follow this person, and yet you're at a loss of words.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're human at the end of the day. And again, I think that people should be entitled to their opinions, whether we like it or not. I'm not into censoring people. That's like when, Elon Musk said he was taking over Twitter and he's, really about free speech. I was like, well, good. Because especially in, new Black media, we do get censored a lot. We got to be careful what we say, because, our pages get shut down and just a whole bunch of stuff. And so I'm all for free speech. Now, I'm not for, speech that's harmful to people, things that are incendiary. But again, I think people should be able to say what they want, even if I don't like it.
Correct. Well, then question is, why do you always censor me on the show?
You a lie. Hey, girl, how you doing? Say, is this confirmed? Now, when we say confirmed officially from like a coroner's report or a hospital or police or his family, as of now, no. But I do have a screenshot from his best friend, who appears to be confirming that he is no longer here. Again, I'm hoping it's not true. And so I'm just going to skip to some of these other ones, because I know I'm really behind in some of these.
Yeah. Real quick, Donald Hayes says he was a cancer survivor, so I forgot that too. It could be related to his previous health situation. I myself have leukemia, and I'm not saying I can drop out at any time, but I do get infections and things that could be very, very threatening. So that could be a possibility.
And I've heard a lot of people saying, you know, oh, I haven't seen it on TMZ yet. And, you know,
Yeah.
whether we like it or not, TMZ
Get
has
the
been,
scoops.
yeah, well, they've been considered a reputable source. Now, that wasn't always the case. You know, TMZ started off as a gossip magazine type of thing, if you will. But they have, I mean, I've even seen reputable news sources like, you know, Dateline, all that, quote that of TMZ. So they have really become a source to be reckoned with as far as breaking news.
It's kind of like Alan Schefter and the NBA, what the guy has to say about the NBA, if there's a trade or something going down, or the other guy in the NFL, you know.
I saw somebody said Umar is doing YouTubes with no shirts on and a gold chain, calling himself King Kong. Yeah, you know, that's Dr. Umar for you. And Artemis, how you doing? He says, my people are so hard and critical on one another, but willing to give other folks a pass.
You know it's amazing. All these Biden sexuals out there, give him time, do all this other stuff. And we're willing to give other people a pass. But when it comes to our own, we are just hard on their ass with no Vaseline.
Yeah, you know, and that is sad that we are really, really hard on our own people, whether we like them or not. But we do give people who are actually probably more harmful a pass every day, right? So yeah, it's just kind of crazy. And let's see here, Ryan, how you doing? He says I'll say wait till the morning to verify a news outlet confirms it. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And we're not saying that it's, you know, we're saying allegedly because there's nothing official, if you will, come out. But again, this is a statement from his friend who, you know, said it. So I don't know. I'm hoping it's not true.
But you know what? Another good thing is people are now going to the New Black Media to, you know, get things confirmed and all this other stuff. And I got to say big ups to the New Black Media, because I have yet to read a statement or a publication that has actually confirmed it. So, you know, and these are people like ourselves that weren't trained journalists and weren't trained media people. We just use common sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, I'm hoping it's not true, but I'm thinking by now, wouldn't Kevin have come on and say, hey, I'm still here. Don't believe the hype. Don't, you know, I would think by now, because at first I was kind of thinking, you know, because a lot of times people, they do certain things maybe because they want to lead up to something. So I was kind of thinking, well, maybe it's something like it's a preview for a show or something he's going to do, you know, because I saw another YouTuber, Trey somebody. He actually put out an obituary of himself yesterday, and it says that he died on May 6th, but it was May 4th. And so people were like, oh, it's because he's being censored or something like that. So I kind of thought maybe it was something like that. And I'm still kind of hoping it is, you know, just to be honest with you. So
yeah. We can hope and pray.
Yes, indeed. So let me get to some more of these comments here. And Grace, you're saying he woke up the black race. Okay. And Guyanese doll, how you doing? Let's see who else is on here. And Caleb, he says, I'll just say this, regardless of how some people may feel about him, we have to remember that a child lost a father and a family member lost a loved one. Now is not the time to speak ill of the deceased. I totally
absolutely
agree.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Because you know, like I said, regardless of how you feel about a person, you got to be, you know, you have to really be careful the things that you speak on other people and the things that you do to other people, right? Like, I get it. Very controversial individual, but he did spark a conversation. But if you didn't like what he said and you're out there saying, oh, well, that's what he get. Well, what makes you think you ain't going to get something for speaking ill of somebody who has passed on? If he's going to get it for what he said, don't you think it's going to come back to you?
No.
You gotta use logic here, right? I would think.
Critical thinking is something our society, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, lack.
And Royal Ranger, how you doing? Says Kevin Samuels delivered his message to his people, and then it was time for him to depart. Ecclesiastes 7:1. No one born of the womb of a woman will escape death. Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their time. We don't know when, right? Exactly. And the inspired thought, how you doing? He says he was his delivery, his delivery was painful, but there was a lot of truth in what he said. His death should spark conversation between Black men and women about what they really think and feel. I agree with
Yeah,
you.
I
At
agree.
least have a conversation.
Yeah, I agree. And
Yeah.
inspired thought. How many of you guys really, when you listen to him, did you guys notice that he always used math and statistics? And I know statistics could be changed, but then when he used literal math, how do you argue with the math? That's what I couldn't figure out when some of the ladies were on the show, and he would just basically, and this is not about his show or nothing like that, but I'm just saying it was just kind of amazing the logic that he used, because you can go to college all day long and learn any subject you want to learn. But do you guys realize the only subject that is relative and is used around the world and cannot be changed, no matter how you want to spin it, is math?
Yeah. So he did deal in statistics, a lot. I took statistics,
I
sucked.
did too.
I don't know how I passed, but one thing I do know
Gotta
about
be. I gotta
statistics,
be.
yeah, I got a D. D's, sometimes get degrees. Sometimes. But yeah, I do know that statistics, can be flawed too,
Sure.
but he did deal with numbers. And sometimes when I would watch the stuff, I would Google it or whatever, or I kind of already knew it. I'm like, well, yeah, that is true. So he did have his, statistics, and math and numbers usually do not lie,
They
right?
don't lie.
So as they
They
say,
don't lie.
it's not what you know, it's what you could prove.
Yeah.
So, and then let's see here. Uh Go down here. And then Tracy, how you doing? He says, I went over to Twitter and there were many. So I don't couldn't get the rest of your comments. So sorry about that. And James, how you doing? He says his death been verified. I'm sorry, has his death been verified? And who got the link? So again, we don't have an official verification as far as a coroner's report or police as of yet. I don't know. But again, this is his best friend's statement here. And I did go to his actual Instagram, his story, and it was on there. So at first he did say something about it being a rumor, because I guess maybe he had just heard it. And then after that, this came up in the story. So nothing official yet. Not, I get it. I don't want to believe it's true either. I hope it's not true. I hope that we are all on here, having a conversation unnecessarily. I hope the guy pops up and say, I wanted to see who, would say whatever about me, or this was a lead up to something. I'm hoping that's the case. So I'm not on here, hoping that he's gone.
Yeah, wasn't that our episode of Good Times when what's his name, Robert Guillaume, was on there, and his name was Fishball, and he died, and he wanted to see who came and loved him and stuff, and they gave him the eulogy, and then he was like, "It's me," and he comes out, and everybody's like, and they were mad at him because they thought he was dead, but then when he realized, people really thought, "Oh wow, he's here, so we need to celebrate him while he's here." I think that was a Good Time episode. Al, could you confirm that for us, please?
Abdullah, how you doing? Longtime friend on Facebook. And I know that you are, devastated, because I know you are one of his most staunch followers. But I'm going to read your comment. He says, probably laugh at his death. I did not laugh at his death. I think you probably know me long enough, even though we've never personally met. But I think you know me long enough that I'm not that type of person. I've never illustrated to be a cruel person, to laugh at anybody except for Donovan.
Yeah.
But to laugh at
Thank you.
anybody, who has lost their life or any of that. So I want to push back on that comment. You also say Black women laughing at his death, and you used to say that he was of the LGBTQ community. Yeah, I've said it once or twice. If he is or was, I don't know. But again, that is my opinion to say that. But even if I did say that, I would never wish death on anybody. So I hope that helps. John, how you doing? It says it rumored. Wow, it says rumored that a woman over 35 killed him. Because you guys know he made a statement about women over 35 being leftover women. I think that was like a week or so ago, and it took off all over the internet. And let's see here, Mr. Pirate.
Well, being somebody who was raised in Japan, that is a term that came from Japan, because usually women have already been married and things like that. And I think 30 or 40 years ago, they recently stopped arranged marriages in Japan. So usually most of the women were already married and betrothed to somebody. So that was a term that comes back, years ago in Japan, years.
And see, Brian, how you doing? You
Wait,
say
wait,
Kevin.
wait. Real quick. YouTube Watcher said all Kevin Samuels did was start gender war. Now the genie's out of the bottle. It's too late, too late. How did he start gender war when the gender wars actually started in the 1970s with the Now movement?
Hell, the gender war started when Eve bit the damn apple.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, things like that started way before Kevin Samuels, just like the problems we have in America started way before Donald Trump. So I'm not downing your comment, but the gender wars were way before Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, and to put that on Kevin Samuels, that's giving him way too much credit. But the gender wars took place very, very, very long time ago. Even before he was born.
Yeah.
So, and then Hannafy says exactly, Donovan, the overall message was geared toward marriage.
Yeah.
And from what I understand too, he had some sort of a marriage group or a group where he would hook people up. And he said that he actually was able to get quite a few couples married. So
yeah, he had some successful counseling sessions, I guess. Or
let me see who else is on here who I have not mentioned yet. And I'm just trying to get some of these. And I ain't gonna even try to say your name because I'm gonna mess it up. But anyway, how you doing? It says, you don't believe, sir, the Discord has been there for a long time. So it has been. And again, it sparked a conversation. And I think for what it's worth, we need to continue having it and try to really figure out what the end goal, because that's what he said. I know a lot of people disputed that his goal was to get Black men and women together. And I think that should be all of our goals if we're interested in staying here, right? We know that our population has not really moved since the 1960s, give or take, but we should be a lot further off than we are. And we're not for a whole lot of reasons. And I will say that, between men and women, Black men and women, we have the most drama, at least the most drama out in the open, I would say.
What is it?
Let's see here. Terry, how you doing? You say, I've watched him since 2020. He was about the unity and strength of Black families. So I should have read your comment. And Mr. Pie Brain says he seemed like a good man. He helped a lot of women. And a lot of women did say that. I've heard a lot of women say that. And Jacob's descendant, how you doing? He says he changed the game. I couldn't even work out today. It hit me hard. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I was sitting here and I was just kind of after that, really just engrossed in, wow, is it true? Trying to find out. And, just it was on my mind like that is horrible. If it's true. And let's see here. EYB, how you doing? He says gender wars. Kevin didn't invent the slogan, I don't need a man. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and we're not trying to call that out, but see that's just, it's just another trope that a lot of women, for some reason, go with. I don't understand how you could give him that much credit when that stuff's been going on for years and years and years, and that's factual.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's indeed. And Mac, how you doing? He said he was definitely an awesome brother. Yeah, I know it's a huge loss to what they call the manosphere out there. So, that's I don't know. And let's see here. Yes, Hollywood 2000. How you doing? He says prayers for his family. And Grace Richardson, he said what others won't say. So I've heard. Mary. Okay, I'm gonna just put up all viewpoints. And Mary, how you doing? He says his heart was full of hate for Black women, but rip, out of respect for no hate in mind though. So that was respectful. I mean,
yeah. But again, I just got a question.
Sure.
He was married to a Black woman, so how can you pull that he had hate for Black women? I don't understand sometimes how people come to that conclusion. We don't know his heart. We don't know. I mean, everything that I've seen about him in his personal life showed that he loved Black women.
So this one here is saying other sources saying it's an Atlanta police officer named Kevin Samuels who passed. And I would hope. I mean, wait a minute.
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
Wait, because that was going to come out wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody passed. But I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not good any Kevin Samuels pass, but I just want to say I hope that we're wrong, and I hope all the other outlets are wrong. If that makes any sense. So without wishing death on somebody else. Facts Not Feelings said, what's disturbing is if a black woman were to pass away who was trying to make black men better, not divesting, I could not see black men dancing on her grave. I would hope not. I would hope not.
Let me get this one. Sam Sarika, sorry, I messed up your name. Roger says, no, he never came across as a man of peace. If his content was good, there wouldn't be such controversy and confusion. Kindness reaps kindness. Okay, Sam Sarika, are you aware that he had, 1 million followers on Twitter? I think that would be a form of success, because if you're influencing over 1 million people, in my opinion, that's successful.
Wow, I'm just seeing that somebody said the IRS shut Umar Johnson's school project down. Why?
That happened like 2 weeks ago.
Really, I've been out of the loop. Wow. Tay crazy says, okay, I'm gonna call TMZ and ask them. And Richard, how you doing, dear friend? Says, did you get it from Melanie King? Who is that?
Oh, Melanie King is that blogger down in Florida. She had like the twists in her hair, like blonde twists in her hair and stuff. And she recently got divorced and had lived this amazing life, and was married to a rich man, and they got divorced and stuff. And she was friends with Kevin Samuels as well.
Oh yeah, so didn't even know who she was, but no, I didn't get it. And also Richard, you're also saying she says families confirmed it. So if she's friends with him and she's saying the family confirmed it, then that's horrible. Speedy Thunder, he says a lot of us are on the plantation mentally, and it's sickening to even talk down and dirty on suspicious death. He could be or not be, but don't hope. So even when I'm not a fan of his, exactly, like, be decent, right? When did decency fly out the window? Like, do we still know how to be decent? You know, it's like, that's, to me, it's like showing up to somebody's dinner and they have like chitlin loaf or something there. And instead of you saying, you don't like it, you're not gonna say, yeah, I ain't gonna eat that. That's nasty. You just say, no, thank you. But I will have some water though. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna sit up there and act the fool. Just be decent. LaMarcus, how you doing? He says, Donovan, you're a real brother. You'll get through this, player. You're gonna kick leukemia dead in the ass. Yes. Yes, indeed, he will. And who else is on here that I have not seen? In April, he says you're going to wait for the confirmation. He says 10-10 wins. And what is that? And Tisha, you say he hasn't been active all day. He usually drops a story on IG throughout the day. Yeah, and so from what they're saying, Donovan took out of here. He'll be back. They're saying, I guess it happened this morning. I don't know. I've just kind of seen some movement saying that it happened this morning. So it's very sad. And like I said, I know on Thursday evening, he usually goes live on Instagram. So has anybody seen him on there this evening? I don't know. And I know it's usually around 9 o'clock or so. And Arson, how you doing? He says, hi, guys, I'm speechless. Fact is, he said a lot of things nobody dared. I never heard anyone intelligently challenge him. Main issue was more his attitude and delivery. It still impacted us. Rip. Yes, indeed. And who else is on here? Scorpion King. How you doing? He says, if he is gone, I'm glad that he was here for the time he was here. You say, I know he didn't hate anyone. He wanted to see us together. I truly will take his words to heart. Rip, Godfather. Yes, a lot of people affectionately called him Godfather. And let's see here. Young Rilla, how you doing? He says, damn, I hope it's not true. If so, rest in power, brother. You'll never be replaced. And then Wilbur, how you doing? He says, rip, brother. And who else is on here? T.G. Hamilton, he says, the stats math were not always interpreted correctly. For example, the percentage of Black men who are married. And so that's kind of why I said, too, that statistics, while they say they're accurate, we know sometimes it can be skewed, right? Because it just depends on who they're polling or where they're getting their samples from. So statistics can be tricky. And let's see who else is on here. I'm gonna put this here. And Manrico, how you doing? He says, I hope he's okay, but I also hope this is not a gimmick. I hope it's not a gimmick too, but honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I thought that it was, because it's not unusual for people to do that, to say, "Oh, I didn't say I was dead. I meant that this is dead or something." So I was kind of thinking that at first. And I put this up here. It says your obituary reflects how you are viewed by others, good, bad, or indifferent. It depends on who's writing it. Because I read
depends on who's writing. You don't want the ex-wife writing it. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I read some obituaries. Like, are we talking about the same person?
Hey, have you guys noticed, like, when you get my age, and God forbid you pass, and they never put the current picture on. It's always when you were younger.
Yes, indeed.
You could be 70 and you're really old, but on the obituary, it's that young, good picture. That's on there.
Right. Hannah, if you said he first came on the scene, he was telling men they need to stop wearing sneakers all the time, grooming, confirming to get ahead. He rejected the media portrayal of us and clowned people he thought perpetuated the negative connotation of us. And that is absolutely true. If you do go look back at some of his earlier stuff, he was getting in men's behinds. I was like, ooh. But then, also would hear him say, nobody really listened. I didn't get as many people listening to me until I started to, hold Black women accountable and start talking about women. But he did say that I was always talking about men. And to his credit, he was. In the beginning, he was. Mm-hmm. Under construction, how you doing?
Yeah, I think his claim to fame was when he called that one girl average at best. And that's what really
I first heard of him. Yeah. That's when I first heard of him. Under construction, how you doing? He says, I swear people that glorifying someone's death will also receive their fate much earlier. Agree or disagree? A lot of Black women are glorifying and happy. That's sick. Yeah, that is very sick. Like I said, I don't know what happens to those people.
You want to scroll down. Mystical Gemstone says Kevin Samuels just uploaded a video on his website confirming that he is alive. Could you go and check that out?
Which website is this?
He didn't say. He says Kevin Samuels just uploaded a video on his website confirming that he is alive.
Well, let's hope that that's true.
True. Yeah.
Let me see here.
And Govetta. And thank you guys for the comments in regards to my leukemia. The thing is, you can't beat it. It's undefeated so far. So we'll see where it goes.
I'm looking. So just go ahead and keep reading.
Okay. Well, let me just go ahead and do that. Andre Cohn says, Kevin had an aggressive way of going about it, but he really wanted better for the Black family. Men, become your highest and best use. Women, prepare yourselves. Family, prepare yourselves for the world. Dwight Jones says, thank you, Sir Kevin. Now families can have an honest conversation about the pitfalls of making life-changing decisions based on one's feelings as opposed to facts and critical thinking. And if you guys haven't been paying attention, a leaked memo from the Supreme Court is said to have been, they're coming in June or something in the summertime. They're going to announce the overthrow of Roe versus Wade. Now, again, me as a man, I don't know why men are involved in that. That's a woman's decision, a woman's body, a woman's decision. But isn't it funny? And I want you guys to pay attention to this. Watch how all of the Black bootlicks, the NAACP Defense Fund, all of these Black so-called servants are going to come out in defense of pro-life, which is what they should do. But why don't they do that for us just in general? I mean, where were they at with the qualified immunity? Where were they at with reparations? Now, all of them are coming out of the woodworks to fight for pro-life. Or wait, am I saying that right? Pro-life or is that pro-death? Because I'm pro-life.
I try not to even get in the middle of all of that.
Right. I hear you.
And let's see. So I got to the bottom here. So I'm just, I didn't see anything on his Instagram or live or anything like that. I did go through Instagram and I've seen people, including Mark Lamont Hill, say that he has gotten confirmation that he has passed on.
Arkansas Baby says it's reported by article now that what they're saying was there was cocaine laced with fentanyl was at the room or in the room.
Yeah, see, I saw that and I try really not to read that on purpose because it's that they say type of stuff.
Yeah.
We don't know why that man, and this is the crazy part too. You don't know how he died until the coroner tell you how he died.
Exactly.
When you got these people coming out saying, oh, it was this, it was that. when I hear stuff like that, I just really try not to repeat it because we don't know. We're not a corner. We're not, we don't have the ability to say that until, they come out with something that they've done a toxicology report or something like that. I mean, it could have been aspirin in the room for all we know. You know what I mean? If that's what people were saying.
He could have allergic reaction to anything. Yeah, anything. He could have ate some shellfish for all we know.
Anything could have, anything. So just to really, I don't know, people crazy. In Arkansas, baby, how you doing? Oh, you read that already? It's been
recorded. I read that one.
Okay. And Ramisha, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says Kevin Samuels was making waves in the mainstream on set with Future and Nicki Minaj sought him out. Yes, that is very, very true. Hello, fat son. Your words, not mine. How you doing?
Hello.
Divine Life. He said things are about to become much harder for everyone, especially regarding our food sources. We are going to need each other. Yeah. We need to knock all this fighting off between each other and figure out how to get along. Because at the end of the day, when this thing goes down, whatever this thing is, y'all can put what you want to it. Everybody else from different races aren't going to be running to other races. They're going to be like, okay, Lupita, what you got to say, Manuel? Okay, this is what we going to do, right? They're not going to be, trying to, well, I ain't going to get along with Humberto. They're going to be like, Humberto, what we need to do. Because we all we got, right? So we need to start thinking along those lines regardless. And so let's see here. Jay, how you doing? Says, so since no one has come forward to confirm Kevin Samuels is alive and it was a hoax, that leads me to believe it may be true. Yeah, there's been quite a few reputable people, I will say, saying that, they did get confirmation. And again, I'm keeping this statement up here from his best friend just to kind of give a little bit of foundation. So it doesn't look like we're just up here. Because I've seen people go live early and I'm like, wow, even really before it was confirmed, it's like, now why are we really doing this? You know what I mean? Like at least get something that says that, okay, it looks like it may be more true than not. And again, I'm not saying it is true because we don't have the official, whatever that looks like, confirmation. So again, this is all just allegedly at this point.
I get you. And, and big ups to you, Demetra K, because like I said, as we know, you weren't a big fan, but for you to come out and, and pay a little homage and respect to this great man, I got to give you big ups,
Yeah, I mean, and,
to put the word out,
Yeah. But and Mr. Pirebrain says, I hope he wasn't a drug user. I mean, I've watched Kevin enough to not get that vibe from him. And again, you never know what people are doing in their own private lives, but he talked a lot about being healthy and, being upstanding and just being productive. So I don't know. I didn't really get those vibes from him. But again, I don't know what people do in their private life, but I'm saying I didn't get those vibes. Not that that means much. An amazing tribe. You say, Demetra K was talking about this earlier on a few panels I was a part of earlier. So you were talking about this earlier on the panel you were from. And that guy from Texas, how you doing? He says the sources reporting his death is not credible. So a lot of them are not. But I've seen a few of them that may or may not be. And again, we won't know until we know, right? Like to say, if you know, you know, that's when we gonna know. Right. So yes, indeed. And Ronald, how you doing? I was about to mess your name up. You say, my friend is gone. He usually posts a video by now. His job is done.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people are saying, that usually he's pretty active, on Instagram. I don't follow him. But I do know that he does shows on Instagram. I think it's on Thursday nights. And as of 5 minutes ago, I didn't see any, indication that he was live. So,
yeah. Let me read this one by G. Disprint.
Sure.
He gave me cult vibes. That's interesting. I wish you could expand on that, because whenever I hear somebody say cult vibes, isn't that what Black people do when they vote for the Democrats? 98% of the voting. Wouldn't that be cultish to do that? I'm just wondering. I'm just trying to elaborate what a cult is, or that cult feeling. Not being disrespectful. So I hope don't take it disrespectfully. Just something to think about.
Well, I'm one of those people. I don't like to lie to kick it. Yeah, I think that he did have cult vibes as well. I think anybody who can amass a following that way, and for him to have such an indelible mark on them, to where, I mean, he could pretty much tell them what to do and they would do it. That does give off cult vibes, and not
Sure.
even,
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just saying, but wouldn't
yeah.
that be the same thing as Black people supporting the Democratic Party?
Oh yes, it's definitely a cult following. Absolutely. I mean, it's a cult. You go to church, don't you? That could be classified as a cult following, especially if you're giving all your money to the preacher and you ain't seeing, no progress, and you keep doing it, like zombies. Yeah, that could be a cult following. So yeah, I agree. And let's see here. The thoughts of the week. You say people been going live quick on Kevin saying they can't confirm if they're still going live and not considering his family. Yeah, you have to consider his family. I mean, he did have one, whether we saw them or not. So I totally agree. And I'm just going to put some of these comments up as we are going to get ready to get out of here. Ooh, an hour went by really quick.
Really fast.
And so hello to everybody who came on here. And Stanley, how you doing? Says women aren't considering his daughter's emotions. Yeah, it's like, who raised these people? That's just awful. Awful to be celebrating that. And I don't really like Twitter much because Twitter is just weird for me. It can be a very nasty place. So I try not to hang out in spaces like that too much. And Quenisha, I hope I said that right. Says all I would say is we have to watch what we say. Yeah. Life and death does lie in the power of the tongue, and we should be very careful of the things we put out into the universe, because that acts as a boomerang. What you put out is surely going to come back to you. I don't care what it is. And I say this a lot. I do believe in the powers of the universe, and I'm not speaking to anybody specifically. I'm just speaking for myself. I believe in the powers of the universe, and I believe that what you do to people does come back to you. Be careful. Wake up every morning with intentions of doing good, putting good into the world. But definitely don't wake up trying to hurt people, because when you do that, it'll come back to you. And a lot of times it don't come back to you the way you put it out there. Sometimes it comes back worse. So wake up with good intentions. Do no harm to people, because you don't want harm to come back to you, right? So let's see here. Who else came on here? And Christian, how you doing? Said, I don't think that you should speak on it if you have not watched the video. That's not what he was saying. And so forgive me. I don't know what that was referencing to or who you're talking to. So forgive me for that. And Sam says, cult, no question, no progress. That's true. Cult. Got it. And Amoni, you say the demeanor he had, Donovan, I really thought he was more into men because he always spoke so negatively about Black women. Let's call it like it is to me, but God has the final say, judgment. Let's pray. Absolutely. God does have the final say. Ali says, Kevin drank Red Bull with Hennessy. Ooh, I hope not. Says accelerants and depressions are never a good mixture. Yeah, I will see him drinking Red Bull quite a bit, but I never saw him put Hennessy, so I don't know about that. And Donald, how you doing? He says, that's how the Bible is. Yes, indeed. And Ben, how you doing? He said, there's no way. Let's see. He says, where did he go? Did I miss it? I said, there is no way that Kevin Samuels is still alive. The thing about him I noticed above all is that he was honest. We would have heard from him by now. That's what I was thinking too. Like, that'd be pretty cruel. And this has been going on for about 5 hours at least now, that this has been going on, saying that he is not here anymore. So I agree with you. I would just think that even if it was a joke, I think by now he would have said, okay, I was hard, right? I was kidding. So I don't know him, but I couldn't see him pulling that off for that long. Mr. Pirate Brain, thank you. You talk about, I'm right in regards to that. Be careful what you put out there. Yeah, I agree, Christian. Yeah, sometimes people need to hear the truth, and the truth hurts. Yeah. I know I've heard some truthful things about myself, and I was like, surely you're joking. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it didn't feel good, but if it's true, deal with it, right? And Bobby says karma is real. This has nothing to do with karma. We will all die sooner than others. No, I was not saying that about him per se. I was just saying in general. Yes, I do believe in karma. I do believe, as you guys believe in the Bible, the golden rule, what you do to people will come back to you. That is very true. Well, you have to be careful of the energy you put out, whether you call it karma, you call it energy, whatever you call it. You cannot think that you can get up in the morning and be evil to people and eventually have
nothing's gonna
that not
happen.
visit you back. It does come back. It's a boomerang effect. So we should be careful. But I was not speaking on the fact, or speaking on if he is gone, that's what he got. So that's not what I was saying. I wasn't even saying that in relation to him at all. So hopefully no one got the wires crossed with that. And Ray Kane says, any black man that could amass such a strong following of black men as that in that short of time is likely to disappear.
Interesting.
Hey, Thunder, how you doing? He says, oh my God, not the Godfather. That's what they're saying, allegedly. And let's see here. And Carletta, how you doing? I thank you so much for the donation and love and appreciate you for that. He says, I did not support this man. However, I do not celebrate death. We all have an expiration date. Yeah, we don't know when that date is, right? If we knew, we might be acting better or get after our lives a little bit more, stop being complacent and, procrastinating. We would, definitely be more exact with the things we do in our lives. Well, right.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Why is it that the older we get, the more in church we go to? Well, when we were younger, you almost never catch us in church. I'm not saying all of us, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Isn't it funny how our elders that are here, they're all into the church, they're all deacons and stuff like that. But then you look at their testimony, those were the very same guys that were, tearing up the neighborhood back in the 1970s.
And Aramisha, I hope I said that right. It says black community is a matriarchy, and he was a threat to that. Now, I will agree with you. I do believe that the black community is dominated by women, and maybe the word dominate is going to kind of sound wrong in this respect, but I think it should be led by men, as most other races are. So I will agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And Arkansas, baby, you say Kevin was known for tearing down black women. I never seen him praising not one black woman. I can't say that he did or he did not, because when we speak in absolutes, that means like never. So I don't know if he ever did or not. I don't know.
Right, but and I'm just Arkansas, baby. We're just having a conversation here. So telling a woman that she's overweight or unhealthy or she's unrealistic, that's your idea of tearing a black woman down. But yet, when black men ain't shit, black men don't do this, black men are lazy, this, that, that's not tearing black men down. And it's all about perspective. And this is not a tit for tat situation, but I just find it amazing how you're saying that all he can do is tear a woman down. In some of the shows that I've seen, I've never heard Kevin Samuels tell a black woman she wasn't shit or she was this or she was that. I don't think there's anything wrong by telling the truth and saying 70% of black women, statistics, which he pulled out, are obese or overweight. That's a fact. So I don't know. It's just perspective, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I've heard him say some pretty harsh things to women. Did he say they wasn't shit per se? No, but I've heard him say some things that's like, wow. So,
right. And like I said, I'm just saying I've never seen it, but again, it's all about perspective. I mean, but was he telling the truth when he was saying that to those women?
And Grace, I'm gonna read your comment. Says, thank you, Kevin, for shaking up black women. We do need to go to the gym, and we do need to get married before we have children. So,
yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah. I agree.
Both sides, men, especially you men. How are you going to expect these women to look a certain way and you got the damn beer belly and, you're looking like Rick Ross sweating with a sweat rag and you want this beautiful African queen next to you and you don't look nothing like the damn king. Give me a break.
I'm glad you said it and I didn't, because if I had said it like, look at women always talking about. So I'm glad you said it. But yeah, y'all know how we operate on this show. We are even-sided. We feel like black men and women got work to do. We feel like black men and women are dope. So it's never like a one-sided thing because we're not going to make it being divisive. And that's just the fact that Thunder says, I'm late here, but what happened to him? Nobody really knows, but it is speculated. Some people saying that it's confirmed that he has passed on. And sounds like he had passed sometime earlier today.
Right.
So anyway, y'all, I'm just looking to see if somebody else.
Well, Christy Middleton said this. What 32-year-old with children is able to marry a millionaire? It's common sense. Agreed. If you're a millionaire, you have options. That's just critical thinking. But it could happen, right, ladies? It could happen.
I mean, yeah, it could happen. I mean,
Yeah, right. Okay, 1 in a million. 1 in a million shot. Okay.
It could, even if it's 1 in a million.
Yes, absolutely. 1 in a million. And you're that 1 in a million. Yeah, I got
it. So I'm just looking at some of the rest of these comments. And hopefully y'all, some of y'all said what really happened to him. Sounds like, he passed. Some rumors, I don't really want to say what because there's no confirmation. Yeah, Christian, I pray he didn't die as well. And so, yeah, we are going to get out here, but we love and appreciate y'all for coming on here. Let's hope that this is not true, and God forbid that it is true. Let's, wish comfort and healing to everybody that knew and loved him, including the manosphere. Y'all know I don't really agree with a lot of stuff that y'all do and saying the manosphere, if that's still such a thing. But I do wish you all condolences, because I know at the end of the day, there's a lot of men and women who looked up to Kevin Samuels as a godfather, a father figure. I did hear him, sometimes say that, he's kind of teaching people things that their father should have taught them, but they didn't. Mm-hmm. Whether it was something about how to dress. That's one thing I did like about Kevin Samuels. I'll keep it real. He brought citizenship, if you will, to the Black man, and that you don't have to go outside. Same thing, for Black women. We always see some of our sisters going out the house, but he impressed upon Black men to be presentable, right? To look like you got some damn sense, to smell good, keep your hair cut, and all of that. And so I will say I really love that he was making being suited and booted fashionable again.
Real quick, I want to thank everybody, because some of these people are fairly new. I'm not really recognizing a lot of them that do it. So thank you guys for coming to the show. Please come back. We love having a great discussion with you guys. We feel that you guys are the co-hosts. But Demetra, in regards to Kevin Samuels, do you know who he reminded me of?
Who?
He reminded me of your dad when your dad was a little younger man, because your dad dressed like that. And smelled like, had almost the same exact type stuff. And until this very day, your dad still does that.
Yes. My dad is Nation of Islam, has been that since he was 19, well into his 70s now. And
still dressing.
What you say, that man gonna wear a suit.
Yes.
Wherever he go, he gonna wear a suit. Sometimes we have to tell him, Daddy, we just going to the store. I don't care. I'm putting my suit on. So yeah, that, like I said, I did like that about Kevin, that he made looking like a citizen. That's what some of us ladies call men who got nice haircuts and dress nice and smell good. We call him looking and acting like a citizen. So yes, I did love that. He was teaching that to so many men, young and old, and teaching women. I'm going to say this, and some people may not like it. I did like that he was trying to raise the consciousness of Black women and getting our health together. And I've said this before, that it made sense to me. And I'm one of those people kind of health conscious, but I did lose my vigor, if you will, for exercising. And I was like, you know what? He's right. Men do like to look at women who are physically fit and look good.
That's our nature.
I decided to, start going back into the gym and, getting my weight down. And I will say that that was largely in part of, what he would say as far as, sisters being overweight, and we shouldn't be.
Yeah. Grace Richardson, hi, Grace, if we haven't said hi to you before. She says constructive criticism should be handed constructively. And I agree with you. But for the last 30 or 40 years, we've been as nice as we can be talking to the younger generation, myself being included. I'm a child of a baby boomer. Oh, don't say nothing to them. Oh, just, let it go, whatever. You know what I mean? Being nice and stuff. I mean, that ain't working. That ain't working in our community.
Well, y'all know how I always say, I mean, you also got to make sure that you have the credibility.
Sure.
And, the trust to say that to certain people. Just because you have an opinion as a black man about a black woman, make sure that black woman has your respect before you go and tell her what she needs to do. Because I'm just keeping you, I'm just telling you, I know, and I feel like I need to say it enough. So I've said this before. You know, I'm in communication, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. I don't care what you're saying. If that person does not respect you and you have not earned or built a rapport with that person, they are not going to listen to you. They're just not going to. So when I hear y'all say, y'all ain't listening to us, first of all, make sure that's your woman, and make sure it's a woman that is going to take what you're saying the right way, opposed to you being caustic in your delivery. It's never worked.
Right. I agree with you. But what I was talking about was generationally how we've been talking to the next generation. Like, so if you've got single mothers who are have kids that are having children, like you have a son, well, I'm gonna let it slide. It's okay, baby, whatever. No, we can't do that anymore. It's not working. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a man talking to a woman. I'm talking about women talking to women and men talking to men. I think that we need to start being direct and telling them the truth versus the bullshit and letting shit slide. That's what I'm talking about. So I agree with Grace. Constructive criticism should be handled constructively if somebody's going to receive it that way. But we know a lot of these young people, they don't listen. I was one of them growing up myself, but thank God I had a parent that gave it to me with no chaser, straight with no chaser.
There you go. And start with your own children. You know, reach back to the teachings of Big Mama and big, you know, and our great granddaddies. Exactly. And our grandparents, and you know, I'm old enough to where my mom taught those things and my dad taught those things. We need to reach back to those old school teachings and teach men and women how to be that, how to be respectable to each other, how to listen, because God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so you can listen more. And I'm gonna say this sometimes, sisters, yes, we do talk too much. Yes, we need to listen a little bit more. And you know, again, I'm gonna say this to the brothers: get in the position where that woman will be all ears to you, right? Earn her respect, and women, give them a break. You know, if they're trying their best, give them a break. Allow him to try to lead you, because as I said, black men and women are going to save our race. And if we don't get together, our race, it will be like dinosaurs. They'll be finding our bones under sands and mud piles thousands of years from now. So y'all can do what y'all want to do with that. Honeydew, how you doing?
The Arson's is in the chat. Well, welcome, Arson. All right, coming on over.
Where?
He's lower in the chat, but you know, he's one of our longtime watchers and listeners and stuff, all the way up in Canada.
Yes, indeed. So, all right, y'all. We will see y'all on Sunday live. We're here live Sundays, 5:00 p.m. Central Time. So yeah, you guys, horrible situation if it's true. RIP to Kevin Samuels if he is gone, and much love and respect and comfort to his family. So you guys, we'll see y'all later.
Yes. Wait, and real quick before we go, and you're new here, please do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. We would love to see you, and that way you can get a indication, hopefully, if we're not a shadow banned, which is what YouTube and a lot of social media platforms do, so that we don't have these discussions. And so you'll get an alert when Demetra goes live, and you could come join us in the chat and give us your opinion. And we just chop it up, you know, on Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We would love to have you come out and chat with us. And even if you got some ideas for something for us to talk about, we would love to do that as well. So if you're new, welcome, 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 and please come back.
Yes, indeed. And Donald, I want to leave on that point too. Is like you said, he did always say get counseling. Counseling is so important. I too went to counseling. I did hear him say that a lot. I went partially because I heard him say that a lot, and I went because I really needed to, because I was struggling with some things. And I will tell y'all, I feel like a much better human mentally that I did go. So counseling is not because you done ran across the freeway somewhere or anything like that. Counseling is for ordinary people who just need to sort out some things, maybe unload some childhood traumas or things that they just haven't learned how to let go of. So I recommend it. Most of the times it's free throughout the community. If you have health insurance, even if you don't, you could get counseling for free. And so I impress upon everybody to try it out. you'll be amazed on how you'll see life differently.
Yeah, and let me co-sign on that. Do you guys know it has been medically proven that 70% of Black people in the United States suffer from PTSD, a form of PTSD, be it violence in a physical sense or living in a combative environment. So yeah, counseling is very important. And unfortunately, it's stigmatized in our community, and it shouldn't be. Go get that help if you need the help. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. As a veteran, they made me go to this counseling group. I was in the wrong group. As you guys see, I was in the Air Force. I'm in this group with Vietnam killers telling us their stories. I got traumatized in the group. But the little things that I had to do being in combat, it did help me adjust in society and give myself a perspective on where I fit within this society.
Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. So y'all have a good evening. We took up enough of your time. Be blessed, and tell somebody you love them today, because you don't know when it'll be the last time you see them. So see y'all later.
Peace.